Hey, Patreon backers, thanks as always for supporting us. We are doing a couple more Patrons AskGN episodes. So we're going to run these sort of asynchronously with the main episodes now, because I want to make sure I can still answer some of these for Patreon supporters, even if we're running behind on the main public episodes. Part of that is a content strategy thing where if we start getting too far ahead on content, especially in really populous review cycles like this one, then we end up just sitting on non-time critical things like AskGN for long enough that they kind of lose relevance. And we don't want to push out, say, a Threadripper review for an AskGN. So in order to compensate for that, we're going to do some more of these Patreon special ones because we can still run these without issues on the main channel. First one is from Rusty on the Discord, of course, who said, thoughts on reviewing some of the budget $50-ish cases with mesh front panels, such as the likes of the Fractal Focus G, Zalman S2, and other similar cases. Most recommended airflow cases are more than $70, with many being closer to $100 for the, quote, reasonably priced options. So yeah, the Fractal Focus G I'm really interested in. It's getting a bit old by standards of a review, so I'm not sure. That's one of those, if content slows down enough elsewhere, we'll look at it. We actually have a BitPhoenix Nova review, mesh review, that should be going up probably time of filming, so it'll be up by the time you see this. But Focus G I want to look at. Zalman S2 I'm not really interested in. Zalman approached us when we were at LTX and said, hey, we emailed you and asked if we could work with you again. And I said to him, was my reply, we have absolutely no interest in working with you. And he said yes. But basically Zalman was telling us at LTX that they've replaced some of their staff and they are less corrupt now than they used to be. It's probably the best way to phrase it. We had an issue with Zalman, this is all public, I told this ages ago, where when we published a bad review of one of their cases previously, like a critical review, their guy who worked there at the time called me, asked about advertising campaigns for like an hour and negotiated down the price. And then at the end, after he was done insulting me on price, asked if we could remove the review. He was like, one more thing, can you take down the review of the case? And I said, that's not how it works. And then we didn't do an ad campaign and we never worked with them again. So that was my last experience with Zalman. I think they're supposed to be fixed. The other problem is Zalman was owned by a company, which no longer is, the same one anyway, was owned by a company that was shut down. I don't remember what exactly the charge was. It was some kind of, I think it all went down in Korea. But it was some kind of like embezzlement or trading fraud or some kind of really illegal activity. So Zalman was under that company, then was shifted to a different brand, and I don't know. We didn't really want to touch them. They're kind of a toxic brand. So I have no interest in reviewing the Zalman S2 right now, even if they've improved their company side of things. A lot of these cases, they just rebrand stuff like Jonesbow products. Other similar cases you say though, we do our best to keep our ear to the ground on this stuff, but if you know of new-ish cases, as in released within maybe the last 3 months, that are in this goes for everyone. If you know of, say, a sub $70 case released in the last couple months that we haven't reviewed, just ping me on Discord, maybe in the AskGN chat with a link to it, so that I can look into getting it, because a lot of the times the companies won't even tell us what cases are coming out because if it's not a flagship, they don't want us to know about it. But the sad thing is that the non-flagships are often some of the best cases. So if you can help us keep an eye on it, that'd be great. Fractal Focus G I'm interested in. We might just use it for a PC build though, maybe for the holidays, but I'm not sure about a full review. We'll see. But the answer is yes, I like reviewing budget stuff a lot. It's just the manufacturers don't tell us about it because they think it's bad, which is really unfortunate that they do. Next one, Rapayne. Do you actually plan to deliver on your promise to do fan testing? Niche, I know, but I really want to see manufacturers' claims properly tested. Are Noctua fans really the best? I agree with you that I want to see the claims tested. We do intend to deliver on it. We have again, a content pipeline and manpower issue. We've been actually really slowly whittling through content. So we've mostly finished a lot of CPU stuff. By the time this video goes up, or shortly after, you'll be seeing a video on some of the CPU cooler testing that I wanted to do starting 2 years ago now. So we've finally gotten caught up to that period, which is great. We haven't been able to kind of unbury ourselves from daily reviews to do that. So we're working towards it. CPU coolers are getting done now. fans are probably next on the list. If I don't, basically what I have to do is wait for December around Christmas when nothing's out to review and try to build new test methodologies for about 2 weeks around Christmas, New Year, when no one's hammering our inbox with new stuff, and then hit the ground running after CES. But if we can't do it in time for fans for starting early next year, I've been working with an engineer in the industry who makes fans, and he might be able to come out here in the first quarter to help us finalize some of the testing so that we can make sure it looks accurate. And he's an engineering. I can't say much else than that because you'll know who he is once he comes here. So I'll leave it there. But yeah, it should be a good setup. I just don't know when exactly. RogueLogix, are you up for a Yestin 5700 XT? I'll be right back. I wasn't going to buy it to review, but we did. So yes, we have it. I don't know I'm hoping it'll be mostly tested by the time this video goes up. It's pretty quick for us to turn around these tests. I don't really want that in the shot for the rest of this. and so yes, it was $700 though, which is a massive ripoff for a 5700 XT, but it'll get views, so it should pay for itself. And if it doesn't, then we'll list it on our store and sell it to someone, because I'm sure someone will buy it. Next question. BlckAssn on November 10th said, I was about to call you 11, said, in your recent video with Wendall where you built the server, is there a benefit to using a 4U rack that stores drives horizontally instead of a smaller rack that stores them vertically? I'm not an expert on server setup and server chassis, but my educated guess would be that it's primarily thermal, and well, that would be really my only guess, is that it's primarily thermal. So other than that, I'm not sure, but maybe accessibility, ease of replacement or something, but probably thermal reasons. And then let's do one more for this one. Next one is Redline, who says, hi guys, just wondering, I know Asetek has patents for what most AiOs in the US use, but what about for other regions, such as Australia? Do brands like NZXT, Corsair, etc. have freedom to use different designs that may perform better in regions where Asetek can't assert their patents? Great question. Asetek, if I remember correctly, successfully enforced their patent in Europe and in the EU, I believe, I think. I know they were trying to. I'm pretty sure it was in their favor. And then, although the EU, I'd be surprised if that holds forever. And then I think was working on getting patents registered for parts of Asia last time I looked into it, which was maybe 2 years ago. So the answer is yes, they can, but I'm not sure about Australia. As for the question of, let's see, do brands like NZXT, Corsair at all have freedom to use different designs that may perform better in regions where Asetek can't assert their patents? Well, they have freedom to use different designs that Asetek can't, say, infringe on their patent and their IP. And of course, well, first of all, Corsair doesn't make anything. They put stickers on it. They do make changes to those things, but what they're doing is they buy from Asetek and they buy from Coolit, and they could, if they want, buy from Dynatron, which is another supplier, or Apaltec, or any of those other suppliers. There's a few of them. And the answer is yes, Corsair could make whatever they want with whatever supplier they want, because they're probably not going to be the ones who get sued. It'll be the supplier. And they do make Coolit coolers, as an example. Asetek and Coolit are the two premier brands for pre-made coolers. Deepcool makes their own. We saw that in their factory. They get around the patents by routing a tube externally on the pump. So they, instead of pump and block, they do a flow plate and block, and then a separate chamber, and then there's a third chamber, and the pump's in one of those, and then there's like a mini reservoir in the other, and it runs a hose. So gets around the patent, but it's effectively the same thing. And so Asetek, you could sue for anything, of course, but they can't really go anywhere with that one. So our company's free to do what they want. The answer is, well, yes, but can they defend themselves from a lawsuit from one of the most litigious companies in the industry? Probably not for a lot of them. SwiftTech backed out of the US because of the Asetek patents with some of its designs that were similar. And Asetek's patents, I'm not sure that I fully agree that they existed without prior art and that they are really patentable, but I'm not a patent lawyer, and it also doesn't matter what I think. because it was already ruled in Asetek's favor. So yeah, it does definitely clamp down on executions of the most sensible approach to cooling design that you could come up with. So that's unfortunate, but there are other options out there. You could look around for things made by Dynatron and Apolitech are probably the two most common outside of Coolit and Asetek. SwiftTech kind of does their own stuff. DeepCool does some of their own stuff. So that'll be it for this one. Thanks for watching. We'll do more of these shortly. And I'd tell you to subscribe, but you probably already are. So I'll see you all next time.